Okay, as of right now, I'm making this video Tuesday, right before episode 7 comes out of The Boys. And I know people are already coming up with theories on what's going to happen to the Peak, on how a story's going to end about the next episode. I know people are coming up and saying that the fish are going to probably turn against him because of the whole plot line with the Alaska bursting with the oil going to the ocean. I do think in episode 7 how his story's going to end. I don't think he's going to die. I do actually think the Deep's going to make it to the end. And I do think it is going to be somewhat similar to the comics, to what I know to his ending, where I think he will somehow survive, where he's just going to be basically exiled from the ocean, where it's like the fish want nothing to do with him. And because they just hate him, because they blame him for the whole Alaska situation, or wherever they had that pipeline burst. And basically his powers are basically going to be useless because the fish want nothing to do with him and they just hate him. And then once the end comes around, I think he's just going to run away. Like, I think the boys will just kind of defeat Homelander. And I think if it's anything like the comics, where I think he'll face some kind of rebranding or something, where it's like he's still like somewhat of a celebrity, where it's like he's like the last member of the Seven still alive, or he just kind of becomes a regular dude. That, or it's like he just becomes completely irrelevant if Vought is just completely gone, or Vought is still around, but they're just not as powerful as they were. And I think that's where the deep story is going to end, where it's like he is just going to be miserable. Where that was where he was at his lowest back in season 2 with that plotline, where it's like he's just depressed and sad because his own like sense of worth was just him being part of the Seven, just kind of doing everything that Homelander says to him, kind of being his yes man. And if they're going with the ending, I think they are, where, Homelander, they take Homelander out, he's completely gone, and he is the last one standing. I think it's just going to be him just becoming irrelevant, and I think that's just his greatest fear, and he just kind of becomes nothing, and he's just kind of left to be alive with this, just to be with that. And that's about all I got to say about the Peak. The Peak survives.